Trey!
What up? What up? What up?
What's up, my guy?
Act for what? Episode 9?
I was going to ask you, is it episode 8 or episode 9?
I want to say 9.
It might be. I actually labeled it as 8, but I might have to change it to 9. Whatever it is, it's going to be the best episode ever because we're joined by a special guest. You can't tell because it's obviously on her screen, but she's 6'3", but we call her Nano Bucket. Amy, we're so excited to have you. Amy, will you please, for the record, put out there the proper pronunciation of your last name so everybody that announces your name in basketball games doesn't mess it up?
It's Amy Yesalavage.
Yesalavage. Yep.
Yesalavage.
Yesalavage. Trey, I think you remember this, but we've been to, I don't even know how many gyms we've been to where they announce Amy's name, and I have yet to see anybody get it right. But then we went somewhere.
I'll be like them.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard, Amy, what versions of your name have you heard so far in gyms?
Oh, gosh. Yesalavage. Yesalavage. Just yes. And then they just picked off into random words that
So we went, I don't know, Trey, do you remember where we were? Amy, you might. We went somewhere and they always get like Issa's name right or whoever. It'd be like Issa Bosch, blah, blah, blah. And then Amy, but we went to a gym where they butchered everybody's names. They were like Asa Boeshe. And then they said Amy's name perfect. And I was like, the one time that they got Amy's name right, they had butchered everybody else's. What gym were we at?
Where was that? I remember that.
I think it might have been Crescent.
Oh, that might be it. But they butchered everybody's and they got yours right. I'm like, I cannot believe that. You were actually shocked.
I was really surprised.
So, Trey, help me remember because I'm terrible with this kind of stuff. How long have we been kind of coaching and knowing Amy?
3 years now? 3 years now?
3 years. So I remember Amy, I met her parents actually when she was playing soccer with my older daughter, Sienna. And they played soccer together at FHE. And Amy happened to play at NSC Heat at the time, I think. And her and, the girls developed a friendship. And then she ended up coming over to play at FHE at some point. And I have to be honest, like I didn't really know you at all at the time. But pretty quickly, like you became one of those kids that we just absolutely love to coach. And Trey and I talk about you all the time because you're like a kid that we never have to worry about whether you're going to show up, your work ethic or anything like that. I say, Trey, she's probably one of your favorites, isn't she? As far as like the work ethic piece of it, for sure.
Are we allowed to admit that?
Yes. Yes. I think the podcast, you keep it real. And I mean, we love all the kids. I mean, we spend time talking about every kid. I mean, we talked about kids that would be like, I'm sure they never talk about me. We talked about those kids today. But Amy's just one of those kids you just never have to worry about if she's going to show up and work hard. And I don't think you've ever had to like fuss at her to give effort.
Never. I only think there's times I really ever had to get on Amy. Now, I have to give a correction, but she's good about doing her job.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm I do brag on her and it's easy. It's better if we brag on you because if you come on a podcast and you're talking about yourself, you're probably never going to say that, but you do work hard. Where do you get your work ethic from? Your mom or your dad?
Both.
Nice answer. Nice.
Good answer.
All right, Amy, I'm going to get to know you a little bit better than we already do. So I'm going to ask you for your Mount Rushmore of junk food. So if you're going to go have junk food, what are your top 4 favorite junk foods?
I know one.
Uh-huh. So number one, chocolate covered crisps.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Number two, it's probably cheese puffs. 3, I like nerd gummy clusters.
No.
Mhm. For something else? Snickers.
Yeah, I get down with Snickers. What about like Sour Patch Kids,
They're good. I mean,
Raisinets?
I love all. No.
She said no. All
Hey,
right,
no
I'll
gummy
accept
clusters.
your
Gummy
answer.
clusters take care of that.
You think those were good, the gummy clusters?
Yeah, you get your sour, you get your sour, you get your sweet.
All right, well we'll take that, but so I'll let you keep your 4. I think I've seen you eat all of them. I think so. At any given time, you'll walk in with some cheese puffs or something. They're usually the healthier kind, though. I'll give you credit.
They are.
So, Amy, then give me your Mount Rushmore of basketball memories, just with us, because I know that like obviously you had memories before. You got to kind of get with us, but like your top 4 memories of just being with us, and I'd like to know what those are.
So number 1, honestly, beating South Lake. It was kind of just. I've been on teams in the past. I felt like we could have beaten them, and we never had. So to finally actually be able to beat them was kind of really. It was nice. And then honestly, just getting in the gym sometimes and like shooting around with just for fun with people. A lot of funny stuff. A lot of funny stories. But always enjoyed that. Just winning. And just always going out there, being able to win. Having fun with the team and stuff. Especially this year, I feel like it's really nice. Man.
What about scoring 15 points just a couple of weeks ago? I guess about 3 weeks ago, you scored about 15, and then you came sick and scored 12 against and we needed every bucket because we only won by like 4. And that's when you were sick. So those got to stick out. It's funny. Your memories never have anything to do with necessarily like your accomplishments. It's more about just the outside experience, which I love, I really do appreciate that. And I think winning for you is important. I mean, you don't only play basketball, right? So what else do you play?
I also play lacrosse, and soccer.
There you go. Your favorite is?
Basketball.
That's a good answer.
Good answer. Good answer.
Amy taking the easy answers.
Amy,
let me ask. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Amy, I'm gonna ask you about something that may be a little bit like more tough to answer, but so we were so excited. You put in so much work. I can't remember. It was a couple of years ago. You put in so much work in the summer, and you were looking, honestly, from the time that you came in, because you worked so hard, like you were looking like, okay, you're going to take that step. And I felt like you were you went from just basically starting with us, and then like potentially you should have been a starter. And then you started feeling a little sick in the beginning of that season. It was, I think, maybe 3 years ago. And you basically missed almost the entire season. Can you maybe just walk us through, like one, if you feel comfortable saying why, but then also like your mindset and what you were thinking about, like just going through that and how you dealt with it.
Yeah. It started years ago. I was just, as you said, not feeling good first practices. And I have a autoimmune disorder. No one really knows what it is. And that ended up, kind of showing up. And I've figured that
figured
out
that
pretty
out pretty
quick.
quick.
But I thought
I
I'd
thought
only
I'd
be
only
out
be out
for
for
a month or
a month.
two. And ended up being almost 6 months. And obviously, like, I was really frustrated, angry, upset, everything. Like, as you said, like, I had put in so much work. I wanted to play, obviously. And to not be able to, and to just have to watch, um, was really hard. Like, and then even when I started to come back, knowing what I wanted to do and my body not being able to do it, um, kind of was really hard. And then even after that, I felt like I had to work 3 times harder to get back to where I was and to improve as I should have, in that lost time. Um, but yeah.
I remember in that time, like it was that year, we would go play some games and we'd have like an ugly win. Like it was like we'd play somebody and that we should be beating, by 20 or 30 points, and we'd only win by 16, and we just didn't we weren't tight with details. Or we just showed up and we didn't execute, or it just wasn't our day. And I remember the girls coming to the locker room and they were all, our standards are high, so they were all upset and their heads were down. And this is when you weren't there. And I mean, Trey, you could back me up on this. I would always say, like, one, we played a basketball game and you're healthy. Number two, you're able to be here. Like, don't waste opportunity. I said, how much would Amy give to be here? We talked about you so much that season. Um, just really almost like inspired by what you were going through. And um I even when you came back, if I'm being really honest with you now, like, I put you in the game, but I was just like, please nobody touch Amy, please nobody, because you had probably lost, I mean, you're not a huge kid, right? But you had
Yeah.
probably lost so much weight. I think, how much did you weigh when you came back? Do you remember?
I
I
think I was
think I
like
was like
75 to
75 to
80.
80.
I mean, I was really nervous for you, and it's funny, but fast forward now, I don't even, like, that doesn't even like come into mind as far as being nervous to put you out there. Or I mean today you played against grown men, like, I'm not even thinking about, oh, be careful, like, it's not even a thought in my mind. But when you first started coming back, I was really nervous that, that I was not going to put you in a position to hurt you. And it was so good to see you back, but more than anything, like, seeing you go through the summer, because you worked just as hard to get to you where you're at now. And now you're, I'm not suggesting that our team is this, we have a good team. We're I think we're legitimately a top 50 team in the state, if I'm being honest. And maybe some can make an argument top 25. I don't know. Okay. I know that there's a lot of good teams out there, so I don't want to overblow our position in basketball. But you're certainly a starter on a really, really good basketball team, in my opinion, and you warrant it and you deserve it. And man, we are where we're at because of kids like you. Actually, you know what you're doing. You're disciplined. You give us exactly what we need night in and night out. You don't care about your personal gain. You're always about team. I'm, I'm so honored to be coaching you. So excited just to have you, back. And Trey, I know you probably want to say some things, so I'll let you say how you feeling about it.
Yeah, I agree. You're not a kid of many words, but you're always going to have the action behind it. And so, even like there was one time this season you did step up and say something. Like, I know that meant a lot to the girls, but it's because, you are a hardworking kid and people respect that. And it is such a pleasure. I was thinking about the same thing when Carlos gave the story about when you first came back. I was just so happy to see you out there, but then so worried just because of what he said. But, you do put the work in. Like, you know, you're not one of the kids that if a coach turns their back, you're going to halfway do it. You're still going to do it just like we're watching. So it's always, always been a pleasure. And plus, I know about being a favorite. If I click on here, you probably knows that how my list I always find out picking going in.
You never pick on Amy, Trey. Are you kidding me?
Never.
My favorite is watching Amy bully Issa though. As soon as Issa walks in the gym, Amy's on her.
Yeah.
Amy, you do clap back at Issa quite a bit. I think it's kind of funny.
Hey.
And she respects you so much. Like honestly, she really does. I think it's awesome. I love that. I love your relationship because I feel like like I don't know if this makes sense or not, but I saw you when you played lacrosse, and you're a different kid playing lacrosse than you're playing basketball, I think.
Yeah.
And in lacrosse, you're more like Issa in terms of like you were barking at people and it was just a little different. Like here, you don't like in basketball. I've seen you do it, but not like in the way that you did in lacrosse. In lacrosse, like you're, dare I say, bossy.
Yep.
And so you understand like when somebody's on the court, like you've played so many sports and it's so many different levels that like I don't know, you and Issa like understand each other that way pretty, you don't even have to say anything. A lot of times you'll just look at each other and smile or even sometimes be like, hey, you need to do that better. And whether it's you telling her telling you, like, and y'all just get it done. Like, and I love that about y'all's relationship.
And I go on a quick tangent
Amy,
about
I
that.
got a question.
Quick tangent about that.
Yeah, go ahead.
That is why, tell me if you agree. That's why I think it's such a big deal that athletes play multiple sports, just because you have to figure out multiple roles in life. Whether at your job, you may be like the head manager, you got to be able to figure that out, or you got to build your way up, and you got to figure out how to work with others rather than you being a leader. That's why I am so for kids playing multiple sports. With Saba, we encourage it. We don't tell the parents to, stick with basketball, go play volleyball, go play softball, go play whatever because of those things right there.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that.
So, Amy, we're going to take a little bit of a turn and talk about this season. I want to know from your perspective, how you feel like we're doing as a whole, and then, where's the ceiling? Like, what do you see happening in January and February leading into March, where it's like championship March? Like, how are you feeling about this team? And just tell me, like, where we're coming from, where we're at, and where we're heading.
Well, I think this team is really strong. I think this is by far the strongest team defensively. Definitely that I've played for. And I think that is 100% our biggest strength. I think we really frustrate a lot of teams with that, even if they're better in a lot of other ways. I think our defense has really helped this year. Especially like in some of the games we haven't been shooting great, but if we're just stopping the other team enough that we win. I think we also click pretty well. All the girls and stuff. Like I feel like kind of get along for the most part. Not a lot of, gossiping and talking behind people's backs and stuff. I think everyone just kind of is all there to play basketball and understands that. Um, and then, like I think we definitely have some tough games coming up. But I feel really confident that, I mean, we can win those if we just play how we've been playing. And like I'm hoping we can win nationals this year. I think we really could. That's I mean, that's the goal at least, but I think we can I think we could get there if we keep, putting in the work that we've been doing and keep playing how we've been playing.
Yeah, I love that. I think that's It's funny, as coaches, I was thinking about what you said about like the cattiness and the stuff that can happen and you've been part of that before with other, things and teams, and because you've been on too many teams to not have that. I've coached teams that have had that, so I can't sit there and say that it's a coaching thing or, it happens. But like a lot of it is really the athletes. Like they got to decide that we're not going to let things interrupt what we're doing. And we do try to keep a really close biblical position and a spiritual position on like gossip and all that stuff. But sometimes it's hard. You got a room full of people, and it's just like a church. You get a church full of people, it doesn't mean it's perfect. It's probably fairly imperfect because people are in it. But yeah, I agree. This team seems to have like a sense of like, hey, even when we've had little issues here and there pop up, like we nip it and we move on. And I love that. I mean, I think it's great. What do you think about what she said, Trey?
I agree. I agree. As
Defensive guy, I
she
love that
feels that
she
same way.
that same way.
She was trying to, she looked at you when she said defense.
Just trying to make sure I wouldn't, I look over something. I look over something.
Amy's got all the right answers today. Nah, but
Very
you're right.
Very politically correct.
Yeah, exactly. But she's right though. Like, the thing is, I don't know. Look, I don't know how we're gonna play when we play the tough teams. Like, I don't know. I do know that we play good enough defense to where we're gonna be in the game. And I do feel like, and I know this is probably a tough statement. I probably shouldn't say it, but if you play good defense, you're always gonna have a puncher's, what do I call it, a puncher shot.
Puncher's chance, right? Puncher's chance, right?
A puncher's chance, yeah. Like basically, like even if we're not playing the greatest, like as long as we're holding teams down a little bit, then we can, even when we're not shooting well at the end, we can get one. And I feel like we're going to be in all those games. I hope. But again, I think that you guys have built enough good habit foundations that I feel like we really can make a run. And then I do think, Amy, that it's going to come down to I'm hoping that we don't allow complacency to set in. Like we want to keep evolving and keep improving. And yeah, we're a good defensive team. I wouldn't say we're a great defensive team. We're a good defensive team. But if we can get to be great, that's what's going to take to win nationals, in my opinion. Trey, how close are we to being a great defensive team?
I'll still say we got about 45% to go. But it's just really just the detail things. It's just really getting down, certain coverages, whether pick and roll, whether we're peeling, just doing those little things. If we can master those things, then I think that we would be at 100% of what our capability.
Yeah. I mean, some of it is not, it wouldn't be necessarily the athlete's fault. It's just stuff that you're going to have to learn as you go, and some disciplines we have to teach. And then some that just we have to take it from like, okay, I remember to do that, to like, it's literally just instinct. Like that's the next thing I'm going to do. That's the next thing. And when you spend a lot of time playing basketball outside of what we do, and you don't have that as your instinct, then we have to build it into your instinct. And so that's probably what you're saying, Trey. It's going to take a little bit of time to get those foundations, like just to be like, that's just what we do.
Yep.
And what about Amy? Where do you see her and her development and how she's doing? And what is the next evolution of her game, you think?
I would say just making the right reads.
Yeah.
Don't keep putting yourself down there with the trees. Keep putting yourself down there with the trees. She is the midi queen. She is the midi queen.
What's been a game changer for me is that she's hitting her outside shot. I mean, pretty consistently, and then she's driving with the right angles, and then making a decision whether it's a pull up jumper, whether it's a pass out. Like I'm starting to see where, like, again, every time she touches the ball, it seems to be a better and better decision. So I really do like. I mean, I'm sitting here thinking like, what can I tell Amy that was going to make her take that next step? But I think you're already there. You're taking those steps, and now it's a matter of reps. That's it.
Or even just like small things like today's practice. I told Amy about the opportunity to take a pull up, And, probably from then on out, every opportunity she was put in that same situation, she was doing it. And, instead of now making a tougher shot, she was getting easy open looks. But once again, though, that's a testament to her.
Yep, I agree. I agree. Well, Amy, I love having you on the podcast. I love having you as a player in our locker room. You have a great family. Like your mom and dad are always so positive, and I think we could lose by 60, and they would find something nice to say, like, "Hey, you guys warmed up really nicely, and the uniforms look nice." Like your parents are just so positive, and you're honestly and again, there's things that Trey and I probably can say, but we talk about privately. But man, I can't think of any place I'd rather coach than here. And it's a lot to do with the kids that we have in that locker room, and you epitomize that culture, that family vibe that we just love. And we'll pour into you guys as much as you want us to, and we're just thankful. And God has really kind of blessed us with kids like you, and I'm so thankful for you.
Yeah, thank you. Believe me, I'm so thankful for all the coaches here. You, Trey, Melly, just everyone. It's been great.
We got to get Melly on the podcast to do a Devo on the podcast. Now, Melly really does spend a lot of time thinking about you guys, and she really does try to dedicate a lot of time to you, and so I appreciate you, saying that. But, anyways, Trey, you got some last words here for Amy, or something you want to leave with?
Keep doing you. Keep doing you. That's all I got.
Keep doing you.
That's all I got.
Trey, I know we always have to say something about the Panthers. I don't know what happened this weekend, but I know the Dolphins were fins up again, and the what is it? The Carolina Panthers paws down.
Yeah, I don't know. We weren't roaring. I can tell you that. We weren't roaring. I can tell you that.
Amy, you watch football?
I do. Not really.
No. Who's your team if you have one?
I guess it'd be Rams or Patriots.
Man, that's the first bad answer Amy gave the whole time.
Did you say the Rams or the Patriots?
Yeah, the Rams or the Patriots.
Hey,
everything else was politically correct. Oh, yeah. Amy is your first bad answer, but that's okay. We all have one air ball once in a while. Amy, we really appreciate you and we love you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. It's been great.
All right, Trey, we'll see you soon, bud. See you at the gym.
Peace.
Peace.